Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Musical, lyrical lingo. Every episode a new bingo. Laugh and sing, go with the flow. Tune in as the memories grow.
Yeah, get going. Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
Oh,
What's
it's
that?
like a wee reunion.
I know it's been a long time since
See,
you said that.
I know, because listeners will be thinking, what are they on?
I know.
We were listening to them last week. There was an episode out last week, wasn't there? No, there wasn't. This week? I don't know.
Yeah.
So basically, we have had our holidays, but we filmed a few and
Yeah.
like
Sprinkled
them around.
No, I think we're going to have to do more
but-
at once because we got some people telling us off.
I know, we got a real backlash, didn't we? Folks, we deserve a holiday like every so often. But the way it's worked out, it actually means we haven't seen each other for, hold my hand.
Oh, so long.
We haven't seen each other for so long, though. Like this is a reunion episode, so they'll probably be sick to death of hearing us. But like this is literally two bezies back together, just having a good old catch up.
But I mean, it's been lovely not with you. I mean,
no, you were probably right the first time. I understand. I won't be offended, but it's lovely. It is lovely to see you and to be back and to have a wee.
Chatter.
We chatter about musicals and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, all good.
Good.
You had a nice summer?
I did. I had a lovely summer and a lovely holiday.
Lovely.
Yeah, back to work this week. Back to the pod.
Yeah, see?
Great.
And that's what you were very looking forward to, wasn't it? Very looking forward to?
Absolutely. Very looking forward to it.
Very looking forward to it.
Always very looking forward to the pod. Oh, you see, this is why I've missed you.
Yeah. I know, it's all go.
Have you any news?
No.
None? Okay, fair enough.
I don't feel like I do. We had a very luxurious summer, and I mean that as in we had time. This was the first summer where the two of us didn't have a lot of work to do or didn't have places to go. I was marking lots and lots and lots of marking, but that stuff can be done whenever the kids are in bed. So we were able to spend a lot of time just like going for walks and going for lunch and just taking it easy, and it was nice actually.
Same, I did a wee hand jive at the beginning of the summer, worked on a wee production of Grease, and then after that I went on my holidays and just have been chilling ever since. Yeah. It's all good.
I know, it's been, I appreciate that not everybody gets moments like that, so it was nice that we got to just take time and, just relax in different ways. Yeah. And then it literally feels like we've just gone crash bang right back into all the craziness that is.
But life is like that, isn't it?
Like getting everything ready.
Yeah, and next week you'll go, when was the summer? Like how long ago was that? Mm-hmm. Like it is, that does upset me when life does that to you. Yeah. But anyway, we can't complain. We must enjoy the time we've had.
Exactly.
Sorry to our listeners that we have been missing a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. But we love you dearly. We're back. Yeah. But I needed a holiday.
You did.
So theatre news is slightly different because obviously catch up. So I have some theatre news, but I also want to get your opinion on some things that happened over the summer in the world of musical theatre. Because, we haven't had that.
We haven't even had a chat. We haven't even gone for coffee.
No, but you're having a coffee too. Yeah. We're having a coffee now and a wee musical theatre catch up. Yeah. So I'll do the news first of all. Judi Dench and Kenneth Branagh are to appear on a one-off TV special.
What?
I read this today. I am like super duper excited by this. Two of my favourite people. So Sky Arts announced that this one-off special with the working title of Drinks with Dame Judy. They should change that to Drinks with the Dame. So, Drinks with Dame Judy, which will see Judi Dench welcome her long-time friend Kenna Branagh into her country home for intimate conversation about their lives and careers. That's going to be riveting. I hope it's a series. It can't be a one-off. Could you imagine? And then she could do like loads of different,
that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Judy could do a proper series of these.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Drinks with the Dame.
Yeah. Oh my
So
goodness.
that's something to look forward to. And that's hot off the press because I only read that today.
Well
done. And I came up on social media and I yelped.
What?
Did you know that there is a musical film coming out of the Kiss of the Spider Woman?
Yes.
But have you known this for a while, or was that news to you too recently in the last couple of months?
A couple of months.
Okay. Because I had heard nothing of it before that, had you?
No.
And then there's a trailer, like it's made, starring Jennifer Lopez.
And that's what I've been hearing, is that this was going to win her awards.
I would say from the trailer alone, she sounds and looks amazing. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Shall we do a wee cinema trip
Absolutely.
to see that? I have never seen that musical, nor really, I don't think I've listened to it from start to finish. So it definitely interests me. Interestingly, there's also a stage revival of it because it's a much loved but rarely staged musical. So the film's coming out in October and then it's going to go on a short theatrical stage tour, April, May, June next year, starring Anna Jane Casey. She is going to be the Spider-Woman. And she's currently in Belfast working with our lovely friends Ali and Jennifer Rennie on Follies, which opens at the beginning
of September. Yeah.
It's very exciting.
I know.
So that's my theatre news. Now I want to get the goss and I want to get your opinions.
Okay.
Number one on my agenda.
Okay.
I'm like my friend. One of my friends crosses her fingers when she's got things to remember.
Okay.
So the first thing is the burlesque controversy.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, there was a lot of controversy. Then
it disappeared. It died away.
Went and seen it, and then everything just went.
Everybody shut up. We did talk about the controversy on the pod, didn't we?
Yes,
we did.
You sort of talked about how you were concerned. I would say.
I just couldn't understand how the whole creative team had changed for this West End production compared to, was it Manchester that it was in the first time? And I was like, how is that a thing? How is the musical, which, how was it just transferring, but completely new show, completely new team.
Yeah.
And then there was all the equity getting involved with people's behaviour and the lack of payment for certain things. And then there was loads of reports of costumes not finished and all the rest of it. But then it opened to good reviews and the pictures looked good and all the rest of it. And it just seemed a bit of an it seemed like an overkill on, I don't want to say overreaction because obviously we get our information the same places that everybody else gets their information. So we don't really know, but I just wondered. And then didn't Tudrick Hall then, who is choreographing and directing and starring and everything else, he came on just to basically call out people for the mean comments and the online bullying and know the full story. And he seemed to be being, a lot of this controversy was being thrown onto him.
Yes,
he was being thrown shade, but actually he was kind of going, not me.
Yeah.
Maybe something else or someone else or other people. There is a show because I stepped up and went, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it just shows you that there's always different sides to the story.
That's it. And will we ever know? I'm sure we will. Christina will put it in her next album.
You see, I thought that, as life goes on, you can kind of read between the lines. And usually if a star like that attends a show or a performance or anything and they didn't love it, it's just kind of they attended it and that was it. You just don't hear anything else.
Yeah.
Well, it was still all over her socials and she was actively dancing and clapping.
And then she did like Insta videos and
yeah,
stuff, didn't
so
she?
I was like, if she didn't want to be associated with it, she wouldn't have. 'Cause
Yeah.
she would have the power to just go, we're just shutting that down.
But have you ever seen anybody walk into the the auditorium the way she did?
I loved it.
I know. So I was like, I wish I could be Christina. Like,
was
I
so
wish
lovely
I
she
could
was
do
wearing.
that. No, me too. I was like, I wish I could wear that book. It was quite the video.
It was.
On to even more fabulousness. And you're
Yes.
talking about stars and star power. Can we talk about Jesus Christ Superstar at the
for it.
Hollywood Bowl?
Go for it.
Have you watched like videos?
Well, just little clips that were on TikTok.
We see, I was on holiday when this all came out, so I didn't watch any of them.
Right.
But if you look at my saved videos on Instagram, there's at least 35
Right, okay.
on Jesus Christ Superstar. I thought it was unbelievable. I thought Cynthia Erivo's Gethsemane. You're gonna break my heart, are you?
No, I'm not going to make your heart.
Are you? You've got a look on your face like, I'm just going to let him wax lyrical for the next 40 minutes about how fabulous they all were.
Okay, go
And
for
then
it.
I'm going to say something that'll really make him upset. I thought vocally, I was like, wow, they were all amazing. Adam Lambert,
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo. I just thought it was brilliant. Go.
I thought I love Jesus Christ Superstar.
So do I.
I adore Jesus Christ Superstar. I also think that people don't always understand that Jesus Christ Superstar is similar to Godspell in the aspect that it's always meant to be like a touring actors putting on a production.
Mhm.
These people are not necessarily meant to be Jesus, Judas, Mary.
Yeah.
I thought that everybody in it was amazing. I thought Adam Lambert is just not credited enough for his voice.
Yeah.
And for me, Tim Minchin, did I say it right?
Yeah.
I do think he's a great Judas. And
Yeah.
I do think that Adam was like on par with him. So I
Yeah.
was like, absolutely, you could go and play that. You could
Yeah.
play that role. Cynthia, I thought was great. But for me, I just didn't love Gethsemane.
No, I did.
For
I
me, I
like-
find it much more impressive whenever it is a man hitting those notes.
Okay.
I knew that she was going to be able to hit them, and I wasn't.
Yeah,
It
but it
didn't.
was still
It didn't give me
the chills.
the chills.
Oh no, it gave me the chills. And a wee tear at the end. But then I was like, wouldn't you love to have a cast recording of that version?
Mm.
As in the whole show. I'm not
Oh,
just
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about her
yeah.
Gethsemane.
Yeah.
Why? What? Come on, Andrew Lloyd Webber, please. Why would you not have just like taken the sound mix from the sound desk and release it as an album?
No, I thought everybody were great. Like I thought Milo was great as well. I think he is fab from like zombie villains
Yeah.
and all.
He did Peter, didn't
Yes, I thought it was a very good performance.
he? Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, I love that power and that emotion that Gethsemane has. And for me, it just didn't reach that height that I usually get.
Okay, Lauren, you're going to see Wicked for good on your own because I'm not going with you.
Not.
I'm not going with you after that comment.
You'll have to
Don't
go
you
with
talk
me.
to my Cynthia like that. But it was, yes.
No, she was great. And
Very
she was
special,
amazing,
all of
and
it.
the performance was fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, I just think it's...
Give us a cast recording. Okay. Shall we move on then to what we're doing?
What are we doing?
Well, we did name check Andrew Lloyd Webber there because
We
he
did,
was in
okay.
attendance at the Hollywood
Actually, loads
Bowl.
of people were in attendance.
Yeah, the original Jesus was there.
He was
Isn't
there,
that right?
yeah.
Terry. Yes.
There was loads of people were there. And
Yeah.
said it was amazing. That they put on fantastic. And I know that there were some sound issues because that's why they had to hold hand mics.
But did you see that video of her waiting?
No.
Oh, I'll show you after.
Okay.
So I saw a video where she, cool as a cucumber, just waited and looked around. And then when she got the handheld, she tapped the top of her head to the MD to go from the top, as in from the top of the number. I was like, the woman is just sophistication,
she's
like
fantastic.
unbelievable. Anyway, we're doing an Andrew Lloyd Webber.
We are. What Andrew Lloyd Webber are we doing?
Well, I didn't realise it. I thought this was one of his earliest. You know, I thought it came quite early in his repertoire, but it's actually not.
No.
It's Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
We kind of felt now that the hype, we don't want it to die away too quickly, because obviously we've had the West End revival and then we had the Broadway revival, and they're all closed now, aren't they? All gone. It's off Broadway and all the rest of it. So Nicole Scherzinger will be having a well-deserved lie down.
And so will Tom Francis.
And so will Tom Francis, yeah. So we thought we'd do a wee Sunset Boulevard. How do you feel about this? The same way as Cynthia's Gethsemane, or?
I really like Sunset Boulevard.
Give her a couple of years. Cynthia could do mean-eyed Norma Desmond.
She could do it now.
She could do it now.
She could.
Because people think Norma Desmond is supposed to be an old woman, and that's incorrect. Leave Nicole Scherzinger alone. She's not too young to play the role. But we'll probably get onto that later. So, an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Sunset Boulevard is based on the American filmmaker Billy Wilder's 1950 Academy Award-winning film. That's what I learned first. I didn't realise it was a film, and it won an Academy Award. Yeah. Music by Andrew Lloyd Webber, lyrics and libretto by Don Black and Christopher Hampton.
Yeah.
The plot follows Norma Desmond, a faded star of the silent screen era, living in her decaying mansion on Sunset Boulevard in 1949 Los Angeles, when young screenwriter Joe Gillis accidentally crosses her path, sees an opportunity to make her return to the big screen, with romance and tragedy to follow.
Yeah, and it's another one of the musicals where you know what is happening from the beginning. So there shouldn't be any spoilers. And obviously with the new revival, pretty much everybody's seen it. So hopefully, if you've never seen Sunset Boulevard, you don't know what it's about, and you don't want any spoilers, stop listening now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tragedy in Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yes, Norma Desmond is living on her memories in this decaying mansion, and she's a psychopath.
She's misunderstood.
And it has fatal consequences for Joe.
Yeah. It coming to fruition, even as a show, was a flipping. It's almost as long as Sunset Boulevard itself.
My goodness. This was one of the big things that I'd learned. So, Andrew Lloyd Webber had wanted to do this musical from the 70s. Yeah. But he didn't. It was like 93 before it actually was like on the West End. So it wasn't developed until the early 1990s as the Sunset Boulevard that we know. Yeah. Because I think it, like a lot of musicals, went through a couple of transitions.
Well, it had rattled on from early 1950s.
Well, this was the thing as well. And before Andrew Lloyd Webber,
there was plenty of people had
Hal Prince and Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah, well, like the American actress Gloria Swanson, the original star of the film, had spent 5 years working on a stage musical version with the American screenwriter Richard Stapley and American composer lyricist Dixon Hughes. Yeah. They first were calling it starring Norma Desmond, and then they changed the name to Boulevard. However, the efforts lapsed in 1957 at the request of Paramount Studio. They were like, don't touch it. Yeah. Do not tarnish our Academy Award-winning film. Then in the 1960s, good old Stephen Sondheim threw his hat in the ring and outlined his stage adaptation until he had a chance encounter with the film's director Billy Wilder at a cocktail party of all places.
I loved it. Like, and because Sondheim had like composed like the first scene, like it wasn't like he just had this idea. A lot of work was going into it, and then like you said, cocktail party. Yeah, Billy Wilder's there. And he says to him, again, don't. Yeah. You can't write a musical about Sunset Boulevard. It has to be an opera. Yeah. After all, it's about a dethroned queen. Yeah. Like, and that was it. Sondheim just went, okay.
Fair enough.
And moved on.
Yeah. And then, as you say, Andrew Lloyd Webber had seen the original film in 1970-71 and had almost immediately started working on the title song. So in 1976, after Harold Prince approached him to make it into a musical, Andrew Lloyd Webber quickly responded, writing an idea for the moment that Norma Desmond returns to Paramount Studios. And that's probably one of the most iconic scenes and numbers in
musical history.
Yeah, in musical history, yeah. Although there were further discussions with the British writer Christopher Hampton, they didn't come to anything again, and the project was put on hold. Andrew Lloyd Webber didn't hang around.
No.
He then went on to have his greatest triumph with... What show did he have his greatest triumph with after shelving Sunset?
Oh.
Phantom.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Phantom. Yeah.
So he went and wrote Phantom, had massive success with Phantom, and then respectfully had less success with Aspects of Love, but it was still, it was still received well. But interestingly, during the early planning stages of Phantom, Andrew Lloyd Webber had invited Hampton to lunch.
Right, okay.
And he had asked him to write the lyrics for Phantom. Hampton laughed, saying that it was a terrible idea to make a musical of the Gaston Leroux's gothic novel, Phantom, right? It's funny how things come around again. It's like spaghetti. Hampton then suggested, but what about doing a Sunset Boulevard, only to learn that Andrew Lloyd Webber had already purchased the rights. So, in fact, years earlier, Andrew Lloyd Webber had asked lyricist Don Black to set two melodies intended for the possible Sunset musical. But do you know what one of those melodies actually ended up becoming? It was named One Star.
Right.
But it actually ended up becoming Memory in Cats.
Oh, and then there was controversy over that number as well, as we learnt.
So, listen, fast forward to 1989, after his successes with Phantom, he finally turned his attentions back to Sunset, and he already had his enthusiastic collaborators chomping at the bit and eager to get started because they'd hung around for long enough.
And he was sort of doing Aspects of Love and Sunset Boulevard at the same time in the workshops. Yeah. Because Michael Ball was involved in some of the original Sunset Boulevard
That's
workshops.
right, yeah.
So,
it was a strategic masterstroke, though, because Andrew Lloyd Webber had persuaded Don Black and Christopher Hampton to work together, and they complemented each other perfectly because they said that Black supplied the emotion and poetry as well as the years of experience, and Hampton as playwright brought the show its satirical bite and pace of a thriller.
Absolutely.
And Sunset Boulevard does have that. It's obviously from the movie, but even as a musical, there's a real thriller,
that's
aspect to it.
It's very Hitchcocky.
Yeah.
That suspense.
Yeah.
Because you can, we know from the beginning that something happens, but we're not sure how. And then there's always that wonder, and realization, why, and is there a motive behind it, and all of this stuff. So it's that intense suspension is definitely carried throughout the whole musical.
So Sunset had its first performance then in 1992 at Andrew Lloyd Webber's Sydmonton Festival.
Yes, his festival.
I think we've talked about that festival before. So any of our listeners that can't remember, because I'm not so sure it was this year we talked about it. Maybe in previous years. The Sydmont Festival is held in a small chapel in Andrew Lloyd Webber's garden and was used back in the day to perform small-scale recitals to an audience of family, friends and theatre acquaintances to try out new material. Yeah. So this initial venue may have been small, but the stars certainly weren't small to take on the role of Norma Desmond. And the first established American actor and singer to take on this role was Patti LuPone, who already at that time was known for specialising in like live musical theatre. That show was generally well received, and predictably a West End run followed.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Alex Caggiatani
and Paul Richmond
from the Education News comedy quiz podcast called Some of the Above.
Each month, Alex and I invite you to play along with two special guest contestants from the world of education as we ask questions about the latest school news.
If you want to laugh while you learn and learn while you laugh, this is the show for you.
So listen to the Education News comedy quiz now, because truly, this podcast will change your life.
You'll sleep better, your food will taste better, and you'll probably get promoted at work.
Yeah, so world premiere was on the 12th of July, 1993 in the Adelphi. And then it only took, well, not even a year because it had tryouts in LA first. But then it ended up in Broadway in November of 94. I'm sure we will go on and mention the difference between West End and Broadway, because this was I knew there was controversy around this. But I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought that it was Glenn Close opened it in West End and Patti LuPone opened it in Broadway.
No, so the West End production, which was directed by Trevor Nunn and choreographed by Bob Avian, so Patti created the role in that London premiere, and she was then followed by Glenn Close, who opened it in LA. Some other big names that followed were Elaine Page, Petula Clark, Betty Buckley, Rita Moreno. But as you said, there was a lot of controversy, and with these ladies came a lot of legal action and big payouts.
Well, fair play to them. I think
1,000%.
The thing was, the production opened, as I said, in 1993, and Patti LuPone had a contract.
Yeah, she was promised.
She was going to transfer to
Broadway. Yeah.
So there was the performance in LA, and I think it was something ridiculous, like 5 days before LA, they said, nope, you no longer have the role, and it's Glenn Close.
Yeah.
She's like, no, but I have a contract.
Yeah, so Glenn Close had opened it already in LA. So then, for whatever reason, they overlooked Patti in the end and pulled Glenn Close out of the LA production and put her into opening in Broadway. So obviously Patti sued their asses for breach of contract. She apparently used the money. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently she used the money to add a swimming pool to her Connecticut home, which she named the Andrew Lloyd Webber Memorial Pool.
Yeah.
I really hope that's true.
She got a settlement of $1 million.
Yes, she did.
Faye Dunaway did the same thing.
Exactly that, because she then replaced Glenn Close when they took Glenn out of LA.
Yep.
But they mustn't have liked her, because a very creative team kind of withdrew her from the show, and I think withdrew the show. I don't know if there was if it even went on. Now, she gave an angry press conference and demanded a financial settlement, which was also widely reported around $1 million.
I mean, fair play to them. Yeah. And I think this is why, like, Sunset Boulevard was never a successfully profitable musical, because of these lawsuits. Yeah.
The show was economically in trouble before it even
there's grand
opened.
Sets. You know, the mansion is a big part of the story because it kind of represents Norma's mind too. Yeah. And so there's like a massive car sometimes in some productions too. It's just big, and the producers never got their investment back.
And to make it worse, at that time, Andrew Lloyd Webber had relatively little control over his really useful company.
That's right.
So it budgeted the production to break even when London's Adelphi Theatre was at 85% full. So they were saying the theatre had to be 85% full to break even.
Oh my goodness.
Andrew Lloyd Webber later stated that it was crazy.
Yeah.
You should budget at 85% being the maximum likely audience capacity, not your break even point. So listen, it only ran for 2 years.
Yeah.
But both Andrew Lloyd Webber and Don Black are adamant that with better management it would have run for longer.
Yeah, which is interesting. The original production was nominated for 11 Tony Awards and won 7, including Best Musical. And then the 2023 version, Jimmy Lloyd's version, was nominated for 11 Olivier's and won 7, including Best Musical Revival. And then in 2024 had 7 Tonys and won 3. So there's always seems to be a similar pattern with Sunset Boulevard, not just in the lawsuits and then with the Tonys, but also where people think that it should last longer, because the Savoy production was always meant to be a limited run. But Broadway was meant to last longer.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It closed. I think it closed a lot earlier than what they even anticipated, because we know that there's a problem with Broadway at the moment. We know it's not giving shows the length of time, but it closed on like the 20th of July there. Which I think I read somewhere or listened to someone who said that is at least 5 months sooner than what they thought worst case scenario would be.
Right. I wonder why then.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Broadway at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we should probably mention, Glenn Close won a Tony for her Norma Desmond. Nicole Scherzinger won an Olivier and a Tony, So it's a musical that has won a lot of awards.
Yeah, absolutely. And Glenn Close is definitely, even though Patti LuPone originated it, if you ask anybody about Sunset Boulevard, it's probably Glenn Close that they are going to mention, because she did come back for, was it the National Opera 2016, I think, concert version.
That's right.
So she is, what's that word, synonymous? That's the right word?
Yes, synonymous. And for years and years and years and years, there had been chat of a film,
That's right.
A remake of a film. And I think I read somewhere that as late as 2014, Glenn Close was still talking about it was in the
Right, okay.
It was still a possibility, and there was still that has almost like fast forward to now. There's chat of it again.
Yeah.
It would make a good remake of a movie musical, and I could see someone like Nicole Scherzinger doing it on film. I'm sure there's plenty of others that would, could throw their name in the ring, but it would be one, after Wicked, it would be good to see, somebody like, what's the director who did, him taking, I think he is a safe,
because he loves music,
person, for the future of movie adaptations of musicals, wouldn't it?
So what's the plot? What is the plot really of Sunset Boulevard? Oh no, I know, but I just mean do you find that Sunset Boulevard maybe also is long?
I think so I have seen Sunset Boulevard, and I wasn't a massive fan of it. Okay. And I think I wasn't a massive fan of it because there are big chunks of it which are him and her.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it kind of felt long. It kind of felt slow. But then I did see a youth production of it.
Okay.
And they, obviously, because there was a lot more in the cast, they had to, be creative. And like they had, so in the youth production, they had, you know, like ghosts of silent movies. So there was like Ghost of Charlie Chaplin and Ghost of this, you know, lots of different movie stars that were in the mansion, and which gave you more to see, and there was more goings on, and there more. Do you know what I mean? So when I saw that production, it didn't feel as long or as. Do you know what I mean? I also think the first time I saw it, I was young and I didn't get it. For example, I totally missed that the beginning was kind of telling us what happens at the end.
Right.
Whereas when I saw the youth production version,
I
was, do you know, but I was also a lot older and I could understand the story and the complexities and the layers. Like, you know, it is psychologically, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But I can get why you would ask, is it long?
Yeah.
Because it can be long.
I think because as well, yes, ultimately it's Joe and Norma, and then you've got Max, you know, her butler, which is what we think he is at the beginning, and then actually, he's a writer, and he meets Betty, and then let's go to lunch, and then he's writing a screenplay with her, and he's falling in love with her, and Betty's falling in love with him, but actually Betty's going to marry somebody else, but Norma's captured him and like kept him. Then you're like, there's so much going on.
Okay.
And then you're like, I feel like the last couple of songs, you're like, oh, it's all over. And
oh, really? No, I don't feel like that. No,
but I like
feel as a story arch,
it's long to get to the end.
And it is a lot, like musically, it's long. Like even the cast recordings are long. But a friend of mine was lucky enough to see the Savoy one, and she said it's a long show, but it didn't feel it.
Yes.
You didn't see it go in.
Going to say, because Jamie Lloyd used, obviously it's still set in like the 40s, but it's modern clothes as such. But there was also cameras on stage and a lot of screens.
Yeah,
but apparently a lot of the scenes where it maybe was like Betty and Joe, Norma was in the background, or if it was Joe and Norma, Max was in the background. So maybe a bit like what you're saying with the youth production, there was more to watch and more to see, and the close-ups of people's eyes and understanding their emotion whenever that element is happening. So I don't know if I explained that well enough, where I'm just saying I feel like sometimes with Sunset Boulevard, it takes a wee while to get to and it's maybe that suspense. I don't like feeling that. I don't watch scary movies.
Is this one of your 5 that make you feel uneasy?
No,
that's so weird because it makes me feel uneasy.
No,
like she has me on the edge of my seat.
No.
Interesting.
I know it is strange, but then I wonder, is that in the back of my mind?
Maybe
is that why I feel like it's long, because I am feeling that suspense?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shall we move on to what we've learned then? Our musical lyrical lingos. It feels like so long since we've talked about our musical lyrical lingos.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I learned was a wee bit more about the silent movies.
Okay.
So also known as the silent film or motion pictures without synchronized recorded sound or dialogue. They rely on visual storytelling through actions, expressions, and intertitles to convey the narrative. And I think that was one of the... Also, I remember when I was younger, like seeing like a video of I think that... Sorry, I'm like jumping. My thoughts are just... I think I saw... Was there like an Andrew Lloyd Webber birthday or something? And they did a VHS of it, like concert.
Yes. And Glenn comes out.
And Glenn Close. She did a Sunset Boulevard number. And I was like, why is she overacting? Like, I was actually going, why is she doing it like that? Like, that's a lot. That's very exaggerated and extreme. But that was exactly the point for these, like, this silent movie era. The silent era existed from the mid-1890s to the late 1920s. A pianist or theatre organist, or sometimes an orchestra, would play music to accompany the films. Some of the greatest icons of the silent cinema included Janet Gaynor, Marion Davies, Louise Brooks, and Greta Garbo. Now, I've heard of Greta Garbo before. Some male stars Rudolph Valentino.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be called Rudolph Valentino. Yeah,
That's what I call you, actually.
it sounds like a great name. These are all brilliant names. Douglas Fairbanks, great name. Lon Chaney, who was actually the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera, because the Phantom of the Opera was also a silent movie. Buster Keats, great name.
Buster Keaton.
Buster Keaton, yes, I just missed the end off there. And of course, Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
So, interestingly, and we mentioned it at the beginning because people had given a bit of crap to Nicole Scherzinger about being too young and all the rest of it. The average age of the biggest female stars during this silent film era were generally in their early to mid-20s.
Yeah.
Many achieve fame and popularity often in late teens. And, you know, the lyrics refer to that quite often. I can't remember, is it Joe maybe says it's one of the kids at the studio when she returns, they're like, she must be 100 years old. You should, and somebody replies, one of the older members of the studio say, you should have seen her when she was 17. And Max mentions in his song how he first met her when she was merely a child, 16 years old. The silent movie era gradually came to an end with the introduction of the talkies or spoken talking pictures. And again, we know a bit about that from Singing in the Rain.
Exactly.
Because that's what's in that. But by the early 1930s, the transition to sound was largely completed, marking the end of the silent film era. Some wonderful quotes from Norma Desmond relating to the silent films. She said, "We didn't need dialogue, we had faces." And my favourite is, "I am big. It's the pictures that got smaller." Yeah. So it's an interesting period of cinematic history that I didn't know a huge amount about. If I'm being completely honest with you, the thought of sitting down to a silent film destroys my happiness. I need more. I need more.
You need, and I suppose
as I said, over exaggerations and gestures aren't my favourite thing.
Which is really funny because that's how you need to perform when you're on the stage, because you need to be able to for the person
I know, but
at the
not
back to see you. Obviously, if you're TV acting, it needs to be reined in.
Yeah.
So it's a lot smaller, but
on stage it's not to the silent movie stage of exaggeration.
Yeah.
What about you? What did you learn?
Yeah, well, same. I kind of just learned. I didn't realise all of the background about Sunset Boulevard, but also I didn't know that several of the tunes were borrowed from Andrew Lloyd Webber's 1986 mini musical called Cricket. I have never heard
Nor
of
have
that
I.
musical.
Let's do an episode on cricket sometime.
I don't know what it's about, but he did it with Tim Rice.
Interesting.
And With One Look was composed for Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical about Puccini, the Italian composer.
There you go.
So he took that and then did it.
But Andrew Lloyd Webber steals from himself a
all
lot
the time,
in
and
loads of
it's only
different
as
musicals.
I have got older, can I start to recognise that?
Yeah.
I definitely felt like there was, you can tell it's an Andrew Lloyd Webber, but there's definitely elements in like Jesus Christ Superstar, or there's Joseph where there's Jesus Christ Superstar. In Evita, there's some Sunset stuff in Sunset. There's some Love Never Dies, you know.
And when I listened to Sunset again recently, having just done Whistle Down the Wind a number of weeks ago, like there's bits of Whistle Down the Wind that clearly were taken or changed slightly from Sunset Boulevard. It is quite. He's got his wee motif, and he likes using the same kind of motifs throughout. Like, you know, even in Sunset, there's the same motif you'll hear again and again and again.
Which I think,
I like it. Like that's not me being critical.
No.
Like that doesn't annoy me.
The very first thing that Sunset Boulevard taught me was how to spell the word boulevard. I only knew how to spell boulevard because of the musical.
There you go. And boulevard's a hard word to spell.
It's a hard word
because it doesn't sound how it looks.
No.
If you try sounding it out, you're snickered like.
Yeah. So
thank goodness for musical theatre.
See, In the overture, or Guess It Was 5 a.m., that very first song where we learn everything.
But I love an overture.
I know you do. It says, I had a contract down at Fox, but I'd fallen foul of Daryl.
Yeah.
So Daryl, I was like, who's Daryl? He was Daryl F. Zanuck, and he founded 20th Century Pictures. But he then bought Fox, and he changed the name to 20th Century Fox, as we know it is today.
There you go.
So, yeah, so actually this is a lot in Sunset Boulevard. There's mention of people from that era.
Yeah, one of the people they mention often and is in the show, Cecil B. DeMille.
Yeah.
And he was
my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
Yeah, he was a founder of the Hollywood motion picture industry, one of the most commercially successful producers and directors of his time, and one of the most influential filmmakers in history. Between 1914 to 1956, he made 70 feature films.
Amazing.
All but 7 were profitable.
What?
Like, that's some record.
That is amazing.
What I thought was really interesting, Cecil B. DeMille played himself in the original 1950 film noir classic of Sunset Boulevard.
It. I did not know that.
Isn't that really cool?
That is cool.
Yeah.
In every movie's a circus.
Yep.
It says, can't we discuss this? Schwab's
Thursday.
night.
I had this too.
Yeah, so Schwab's is fine. You could find Schwab's, or you could find Schwab's. That is very hard to say. At 824
Yeah.
SB, which is Sunset Boulevard, which was a popular hangout for the Hollywood stars in the 30s to the 50s.
Yep.
And it's a chemist, but not a chemist how we would know it.
Yeah.
Back then, a chemist sold you medicine, but also sold you soda, and had like an eating and a dining area. So this is where all the Hollywood like up and comers would hang out, and it is featured in the film noir.
It is. It's actually used a bit more frequently in the film because Joe says, after that I drove down to headquarters. That's the way a lot of us think about Squab's drugstore, kind of a combination office, coffee clutch, and waiting room, waiting for the gravy train.
Yeah.
I also, when I read that quote, was like, gravy train? What's that? So do you know what a gravy train is?
I just know that it's like a work train.
No,
Or
it
like
refers
work.
to a situation. Oh, yeah. So it refers to a situation in which someone can make a lot of money from very little effort.
Ah, okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
We don't have drugstores like that here now.
No, well, and if we do,
But
we don't
listen,
know where they are.
some of the stuff you can get over the counter in the chemist or in
In
a
America.
pharmacy in America. I'll never forget that. I've told you this story, haven't I, of us coming home from America, and my younger brother had the cold, so we bought a grape flavored cough medicine
Yeah.
for coming home. Right? He was wired to the moon on that plane home. Honest to God, absolutely wired.
Yeah.
I was
so-
sleeping at one and at one point I opened my eyes to see my brother nose to nose with me, just staring in my face like he was completely wired from the grape flavored cough syrup.
I don't understand how their pharmacies work, because things like that you can buy over the counter. They're because when Americans get a cold as well, they take something and then they're fine, or get the flu. While we are like, let's just suffer it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're out for like days or whatever. Well, but you know what you can't buy over the counter? Cold sore cream.
What?
You've got to get a prescription for that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
When they sell melatonin and gummy bears?
Yeah, so strange.
Oh, it is interesting, isn't it though?
So, in Surrender, there is a couple of people mentioned. And like you had said earlier, so there's the Fairbanks, the Gilberts, and the Valentinos. And they were the most popular and beloved romantic stars of the silent film.
Yeah.
And then we have, I'm not going to be able to say this right. Salome?
Salome.
Salome, thank you. A couple of things.
I love Salome.
Yeah. Well, there's a mention of a gorgon. So did you know what a gorgon was?
No. Yeah, so Joe sings... He says, It sure was a real cheery setup. So he's talking about the mansion,
Yeah.
the wind wheezing through the organ, Max shuffling around, a dead ape dumped on the shelf, and her staring like a gorgon.
Yeah.
So what's a gorgon?
A gorgon is a creature from Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Whose stare would turn anyone to stone.
Yeah.
So a bit like Medusa.
Yeah,
the snake.
absolutely.
And they say that Norma's stare
Yeah.
is similar to that of a gorgon because they have to understand that the mansion is like dilapidated and there's so much going on, and that's kind of like her mind too, and she
Yeah.
doesn't really know where she is because she still believes that she's this big amazing star. So
Yeah.
as she's staring, she's probably staring through him rather than
Yeah.
actually staring at him.
But also when she was on the screen
Yeah.
or on the stage,
It was her stare.
it would have been
famous for.
extremely, intense. Her actions and facial expressions, as I've said, would have been over exaggerated. An old habit from the days as a silent film star
Yeah.
as well.
So this, say it again.
Salome.
Salome is this screenplay
Yeah.
that Norma Desmond has, and she wants Joe to help her write, and she
Yeah.
feels like this is going to be her comeback.
Back, yeah.
So she sort of employs him and entraps him and keeps him
Yeah.
in this mansion to write this. But actually, I didn't know that there was so many versions.
Yeah, of Salome.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
this. So I've seen the very famous painting that is based on John the Baptist's head, when
Yeah.
and that's from Oscar Wilde's play.
Yeah, so
as
she
well.
says, have you got to the scene where she asks for his head? If she can't have him living, she'll take him dead.
And again, it's a massive insight or foresight into what happens
Yeah.
at the end. But yeah, in Oscar Wilde's version, she falls in love with John the Baptist, and when he dismisses her and says that he's not in love with her, she then asks for his head.
Yeah.
And she was a biblical, apparently the daughter of Herod, is
Yeah.
that right? And danced before Herod. She's also said to be the wife of Zebedee and the mother of James and John.
Yeah.
But also that word is derived from the Hebrew word
So,
shalom.
yeah. And shalom, with the Hebrew origin, means peace.
Yes.
So you're talking about this character who will have somebody's head on
Yeah.
a plate,
Yeah.
and it actually means peace.
Yeah. I know, very strange.
Ironic.
Words are odd.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else on that? Or
No, I have on Salome. No, I just had about Salome,
Yeah.
and then, as you said, Gorgon. Yeah. Can we talk about the title song? Well, yeah, it is the title song, isn't it? Sunset Boulevard, Twisted Boulevard.
Like, I'm not there yet.
You see, I went there first because I just went to the title song.
And when does the title song happen in the
The
musical?
beginning of Act 2.
The beginning of Act 2. And I love how people are like, oh, when the show opens with Sunset Boulevard. I'm like,
It does
doesn't
not.
open with Sunset Boulevard. Act 2 opens with Sunset Boulevard.
I just want to talk about Sunset Boulevard because I want to sing this bit. Sure, I came out here to make my name, wanted my pull, my dose of fame, wanted my parking space at Warner's. But after a year, a one-room hell, a Murphy bed, a rancid smell, wallpaper peeling at the corners, Murphy's bed. A Murphy bed it comes down from the wall, so it's like a fold-out bed.
Yeah.
Did not know that's
Well, it
what
was
a
Sunset
Murphy's.
Boulevard that I then asked the question when I was younger.
Yeah.
What is a Murphy's bed?
There you go.
I know.
And it's a wee fold-out bed.
Yeah, so you'll see them like sometimes they're in hotel rooms as well.
Really clever, like they're
And then
funky.
it just
Yeah.
comes out. But I would probably say I'd just get lazy and it would just be out the whole time.
All the time. Yeah, you wouldn't pack it back into the wall. Yes,
You just be like, I'll just sleep on it.
to be fair, I'd probably be the same. Joe also sings, and if I'm honest, I like the lady. I can't help being touched by her folly.
Yeah.
And
So
that-
what did you think that meant? Folly.
Folly is in folderol and fiddle-dee-dee. Folly, like bit of fun.
Oh, okay.
But I was completely wrong, wasn't I?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a double entendre in this lyric, to be honest, because not only a folly is a synonym for foolishness
Yes.
and lunacy,
Yes. Well, that's kind of what I thought it was like.
And Norma is mental.
Yeah,
like
I
she
thought it was
does
that
have
he was-
mental health
He
in
was
this
saying
show.
that she is a fool, but not like a fool as in makes him laugh. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
no.
crazy.
I mean, I was just stupid. It's like that instability and mania that Norma has. But double entendre, Folly is also a costly ornamental building which lacks practical purpose.
Oh.
Yeah. And Joe only meets Norma by stumbling upon the mansion in Sunset Boulevard that he considered antique and absurd, almost abandoned in many ways, but complete with a dried up pool, doors lacking their knobs, a bowling alley, which I love that line about the alley in the cellar, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even a dead monkey in the garden.
I know, because that's Norma thinks that he's there to like bury the monkey.
So there you go. So a synonym for foolishness or lunacy, and is also a costly ornamental building which lacks practical
Sometimes
purpose.
these lyricists know exactly what they're doing.
So clever.
so clever. What a great song.
Yeah, I love also that line at the end, just like you will end up in the ocean. And you mentioned it in one of your other musical lyrical lingos. It's another like spoiler alert or a line that foreshadows or recalls, because as we know, the entire show is a flashback that we learn about at the beginning of the show, just basically foreshadowing that Joe will end up dead in Norma Desmond's pool. Spoiler alert!
Spoiler!
Listen, you can't be a fan of musical theatre and not have been on the socials and seen the poor fella in his boxers covered in blood.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's not going to end well.
No, definitely not. It's in The Greatest Star of All,
Yes.
there's a couple of mentions again to people, and one of them is Clara Bow.
Yeah.
And this is really interesting because Clara Bow is brought up in Bonnie and Clyde.
That's right.
And also Clara Bow, and this will make sense because people will hear this first and then they'll hear another episode after this.
Yeah.
And Clara Bow, somebody very famous, has a song about Clara Bow, Taylor Swift.
Oh.
And how everything was sort of like foreshadow. And Taylor Swift currently has a new album coming out.
Right.
And there's a lot of like talk about Clara Bow at the moment because of one of her songs and how she dropped Easter eggs during that.
Oh.
So I just love how we are always on point.
So on point.
It's
not even funny.
Anyway, the other person that was mentioned in The Greatest Star of All is Fatty Arbuckle.
Okay.
So, Fatty Arbuckle, wait till you hear this. He was a comedian, so he was a comic in the silent films. He was the very first actor to have a £1 million contract.
Lucky him.
Back then too. So massive amounts of money. But in 1921, he was charged with the murder of actress Virginia Rappe, I think her name is. But this was inaccurate.
Okay.
It was actually, Virginia passed out at a party due to a swollen bowel or abdomen or something to do with that, and he carried her to bed. And it was her friend that claimed that he had essayed her and then killed her, and there was absolutely no evidence that he had, no evidence whatsoever. But he was arrested. He had to go on trial 3 times before he was acquitted, and he was acquitted with an apology from the jury.
Yeah, this rings a bell. Was there like a movie made of this?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there was.
Maybe not. Just this. His story is ringing a bell. Maybe I've read it somewhere before, but insane.
Insane. So, and this friend was known to be a liar.
Oh.
So, but yes, despite the fact that he was acquitted, he was banned from movies for a year. He did do a little bit of work under a pseudonym. I can just say that word. Until Warner Brothers said, "Okay, we're going to give you a contract for a full-length feature film." He signed that contract on the 28th of June, 1933, and he died the next day.
I knew what you were going to say.
What? Awful.
Poor Fatty Arbuckle.
Poor Fatty Arbuckle. I know. I don't mean to laugh. Isn't that shocking?
That's rubbish. Yeah, there's a lot of that rings a bell, but I couldn't tell you why. I'm going to have to Google that when we're
Yeah.
finished, if they've done...
If there's a movie or something.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's what I learned. I learned about Mr. Arbuckle.
There you go.
His tragic tale.
Can we talk about one of the best written musical theatre songs ever for the exquisite lyrics? With One Look. And it's only when you know the story of Sunset Boulevard, like if you listen to it, it's a great song. But when you know it in the context, it's so excellent. It's excellent because it sums up the art of the silent movies perfectly whilst breaking your heart for an old jaded actress. She sings, with one look I can break your heart. With one look I play every part. I can make your sad heart sing. With one look you'll know all you need to know. It also describes me perfectly.
You?
Yeah, well, you know the way people say, Tim, your face.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, your face.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows what I'm thinking or how I feel by my face.
But like as the years have got older, you've got better.
Have I?
Yeah.
I think I've got worse.
No, you're much better. You're more aware of your face.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because, with one look I could break your heart. She also sings to my people in the dark, still out there in the dark. And I'm just a wee emotional wreck, really. I just love the depth of that line because to Norma, the people in the dark are her audience, you know, in the movie theatre. Alternatively, the people in the dark could represent her remaining fans, which there's probably few left, who are like avidly watching her films or still sitting in the dark venues or watching the greatest star of all and waiting for her return to the stage.
Yeah. And I think as like Max,
beautiful.
who is her, well, shall I just say it? Because it's not really a big spoiler.
I mean, we've said that she kills Joe.
Yeah. So Max is presented as her butler, but he's actually her husband.
Yeah.
And he's like been writing her fan mail, so she still thinks that she's got these people sitting in the dark, like writing to her, and she doesn't. He just loves her that much.
I know he's writing the letters.
He's writing the letters, so he's kind of adding to her delusion. But yeah, that is so sad when you think like she thinks that there's people longing for her in the dark.
And you know, one of the bits that like breaks my heart the most for her, she refers to her people in the dark it's not in a song, but it's one of the scenes where she's talking to Joe and she goes, I'm just having I think it's after the first time she's tried to commit suicide. And he comes back to her and he's like, why'd you do that? That was, stupid. And she was like, I'm going through a tough time at the moment, she says. And she says, I even bought a revolver, but I just couldn't go through with it. All I could think about was my fans and what would they do?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, bless her.
Yeah, I know. Jodie's delusional.
Oh, but God bless her.
I know. Well, I think this is why it doesn't scare me, is because I think that I feel that she has a lot of heart. She's not presented at the beginning as a very scary character.
No, you can't but just feel sorry for the woman. Yeah. Like there's pity there. There's so much pity for the character.
This time next year, the song, isn't it called This Time Next Year? It's always usually sang in
Perfect Year.
Perfect Year. She always sang at Cinderella. I think that's lovely.
This year will be the perfect year.
Well, yes, that is what I wanted to say. But no, there is a song called This Time Next Year. I'm pretty sure there is, because they say, who do you borrow this from? And she says, Adolphe Menjou, who was an American actor considered the epitome of the word debonair. He was always voted the best dressed man.
Oh?
Yeah. I think it's like after, is it in like actor or something, after she's like, wear this, like you spent all the money on him.
Okay.
Or maybe it's like in that song. Maybe
fair enough.
Just that line. But yeah, there's a lot of lessons within Sunset Boulevard about, and even just how Hollywood back then treated their big stars. she was at the top of her game, and then just, okay, you're no longer needed.
And now they only want her for her car. Oh, that's so sad. That's like gold too.
I know my way around here. That's the only song I can sing that I'm proud of. No, that one, and there's another song. So that one.
What's the other one?
Tell Me on a Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So they're the only two songs after I sing it. I'm like, oh, I did an okay job. No, this was years ago.
Shut up. You need to wise up.
But I love how she's so apprehensive. Like, God will treat the painted seas.
I know.
She's just like, oh, love.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot whenever you have a real emotional connection. Like, I'll feel it if I'm like backstage. It doesn't matter if, like, most of the time I'm backstage now, I'm never performing, but I have like a real, oh, this is where I'm meant to be. Like,
yeah, you're in the right place.
Stuff where I've been like helping some teenagers at the minute, and we're putting on a production. I'm like, oh, this is what it just feels familiar and safe.
Yeah.
And I think I can totally understand how Norma feels.
Yeah.
Bless
I
her,
think
do
we
this
all
for her.
would, yeah. Shall we talk about our stand no's then?
Mm-hmm.
So I've already mentioned some of my stand no's are With One Look,
Yeah.
Sunset Boulevard, As If We've Never Said Goodbye, just for the lyrics, like
Yeah.
like storytelling, acting through song, like hello.
They're all three are my stand ovations too.
Really?
Mhm.
I got a bit annoyed with myself though, because Too Much in Love to Care
Okay.
is a beautiful
Yeah.
love story between Joe and Betty.
Yeah.
And I do not know why I forgot about it and I didn't put it in our loves. Remember,
Oh,
for Valentine's this
yeah.
year, we did our love song, because I think it could have kicked maybe some out of my top,
And I think
because it's beautiful.
It's funny because I think I heard one of the other reviewers talk about Sunset Boulevard. It's not a love triangle, it's like a love diamond. Because there's so many people are connected in different ways. And
That's true, yeah.
I think as well you forget, because Joe sort of says to Betty, no, I don't love you, like, go away, go marry your man. He's only doing that to protect Betty because he knows that Norma's on an episode.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of the last thing he says to her, and she thinks that that's how he feels. So you forget that they are connected.
But is that why he throws that all away at the end? Or is it the fact that he can't throw away being looked after and living in the man and the lifestyle that he has also become accustomed to?
Been accustomed to her face.
Wrong show. And I suppose a wee unsung hero, and we've talked a little bit about them, but we haven't talked a huge amount because they often do get overshadowed. However, Max doesn't have very much to sing, but my God, the two opportunities where he does, he makes the most of it and really leaves a mark. When he sings The Greatest Star of All and No Ways to Dream reprise, it's those moments in the theatre which you just remember for being eerily quiet, like everything goes like just still, as he's like recalling what it was like, what she was like in the day.
Apparently that's what was really intense and great about the cameras in Jamie Lloyd's, because it was
in their face,
right, just at their eyes. So all the emotion that Max in particular was feeling was just displayed on the screen.
And the 2024 cast recording is great. Wow. Yeah. So if you want to listen to that one first, because I also think story-wise it gives it to you a bit more.
And do you feel at the beginning there's like a little bit of like a jazz feel to it? I feel compared to the original, it feels like there's more oomph. I don't know at the very beginning.
Maybe. Listen, I have to say, Andrew Lloyd Webber is at his best. In Sunset Boulevard. Like, by this point in his career, he was doing special things. Like,
he knew what he was doing. He still does, but
Does,
in different ways.
but like that overture and those lush big sounds, lush big orchestral moments. You know me, I love a wee orchestra. All right, what would Patti do? I got one for you. Would you rather be in the room with Patti when she confronted Andrew Lloyd Webber for ever looking over her for the Broadway production, or would you rather be featured in Thomas Francis's live Sunset Boulevard being filmed on Schubert Alley in Broadway? Because that's what they did in this recent production.
Oh,
It's a good one, isn't it?
oh. I mean, I would feel super uncomfortable, but I do love a bit of drama, so I think I would love to be in the room as Patti is saying, "I'll take your million and I'll make a pool out of you, Webber."
I think that's what I would go with too, although I wouldn't mind doing a wee duet with Tom Francis.
No.
To be fair, because I did sing his song tonight, and I think I did a rather good job.
Great job.
I know.
If it was still going, you could have been understudy.
I know. Listen, I did. We've run out of time, and we're a wee bit over time because it's two friends who haven't seen each other for an awfully long time. So you're getting a wee bonus episode, a bonus extra long episode. But they have released the cast for Paddington, the musical, this week. But they haven't released me yet as Paddington. That's to come. That's the big surprise. Because I saw loads of people going, "What about Paddington? Who's playing Paddington?" It's like, it's me.
I just need to, cross a few T's and dot a few I's, but I'll be there.
Indeed. You clever girl. You dropped in a little Easter egg in the middle of our episode. So maybe the Swifties need to stay tuned to next week's episode because we might be having a visitor.
Or two.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. It is.
So Swifties, see you here next week.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us and allowing us to have our summer break.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again until this time next year. Really appreciate, but I do appreciate you not disappearing unless nobody listens to this episode because all our listeners have gone elsewhere.
Yeah, they're hanging on. They're waiting for us. But don't worry, we won't be away. And we did promise you that we would have a really packed. So there's no more holidays for you, Mister. That's it for this segment.
If you're with me, next year will be the perfect year. That was beautiful. Till next week. Bye.
Tune in as the memories grow.